Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week I take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and we try to isolate an angle to the race that might be helpful in finding the winner. Well, Sunday racing this week at Sha Tin, and the first race I'm going to take a look at is race 3, where our winning factor is the map. Only a small field here for this Class 2, but nearly all the runners have a winning chance, and primarily to me the race revolves around two horses up in grade off very good recent form. That's Running Glory and Charity Grace. Zach Purton's Mount Beauty Fit returning to the turf, and a horse who hasn't won for almost a year, The Rock. And the fact that this small field is so competitive probably means that any runner that can find an advantage somewhere is going to be really helped by that. But let's first of all take a look at the likely favourites, the last start winners up in grade, another of our usual factors, and that's Running Glory and Charity Grace. First of all, Running Glory. And this is taking us back to race 573, and Running Glory's in mainly pink colours, gate 3. He jumps okay, but as usual, he doesn't want to be part of the lead group, and Joao Moreira lets him drift back in a tempo that is initially just okay, but ramps up very sharply after the first 200 metres when there's a real contest for the front. Now on the circle, the leaders, who've been doing it pretty fast, look to get a rest, but all they're doing now is helping Running Glory, who's able to creep ground cheaply up on the inside, and by the time he straightens for home, it's just a case of getting into the clear. And he gets the job done in tradesman-like style. Then, 2 weeks later, it's Charity Grace's turn, and this is race 606, and he's in mainly purple colours, barrier 2, and Charity Grace made it 2 wins from his last 4 starts, positioning here in midfield. But there's a bizarre ride on Super Winner up the front. He applies a lot of pressure in the second section to soften up all of the front runners and give the run-ons their chance. And when we turn for home, Charity Grace doesn't need to be asked twice. He goes up the rail and puts away his rivals in good style. And finally, I want to take a look at the other 2 horses that we've identified as major chances here, The Rock and Beauty Fit, when they clashed in a dirt race recently. So this is race 643 in pink and black, gate 7. Beauty Fit is slow away, as he can be at times, while The Rock jumps well, but Joe Moreira is in no hurry this time from gate 1 in blue and white colours, and this pair will position in the back half of the field behind what is a very stern lead tempo. By the home turn, the leaders are starting to feel the pinch and the run-ons get their chance. The winner, Berlin Tango, coming along the rail, while The Rock peels out and makes ground at his first run for 3 months to finish 4th, while Beauty Fit's finishing effort is frankly a bit disappointing, though he may not be at his best on the dirt. And what I hope you noticed in those 3 replays is that each of them had a strong race pace. Now, when we're coming back from full fields into a small field like this, that could be a critical difference, and that's why the map is so all important to this race. And when we take a look at the map, well, it's a race lacking in front runners to put that good pace on that those horses have enjoyed in their lead-up races. And in fact, leading races has never been the style for any of these 7 runners except one. While The Rock is not a regular leader, 4 times he's led in a race, and 1 other time he sat second on the outside of the leader. And from those 5 attempts, he's won 3 and was a good third in a higher grade race in another. So I think we're going to see him in a very different role on Sunday to what we saw in that replay, out in front, dictating the tempo, while the others we're looking at as big chances have quite a settled pattern of sitting behind the speed in their races. So the tip in race 3, The Rock. His winning factor, the map. Yes, this is a very competitive race, and I really wouldn't be surprised at what won. But I do think that having had that run under the belt, first attempt for 3 months, The Rock will be fitter, and I think we could see him use his tactical abilities to lead the race in an event where the others really would prefer to get some pace on. The other race I want to take a look at on Sunday is race 6, and our winning factor here, the trainer. Quite a few with a chance here in the Class 4. Ace 1 is one of them, coming down from Class 3. Paul O'Sullivan's last start winner, August Moon, has a chance. The first starter, Beauty Tycoon from the size yard, looks to have good ability. And down in the handicaps, Fighting Star, Fortune Carrier and Brave Dreams have chances. Brave Dreams finding a lot of trouble in his most recent start. So not a pushover at all this race, but the horse that is easy to have your eye drawn to is John Sizer's first starter, Beauty Tycoon. And this is his trial on May the 3rd. And look, this is not the most conclusive of barrier trials. It's a small field, it's a low pressure trial in soft times, but in the familiar Beauty stable colours, you see Beauty Tycoon in black and pink, jumps okay, goes up to sit outside the lead and does it all very easily, travelling strongly under a hold. He really makes no attempt to win the barrier trial, but is very comfortable doing whatever he is asked to do. And that has been the story of his 3 barrier trials in Hong Kong, not really asked to do a lot, although he did also have one trial in Australia where he was let off the leash, so to speak, and he managed to beat a quite talented horse there pretty easily. But just as important as what he's showing us in his trials is the background to him, and that is John Size. And on this graphic, I wanted to highlight the performance of Size with this type of horse, the first starter. Now, this has been the foundation of Size's 11 championships in Hong Kong, developing unraced horses from the ground up. And while I'm constantly cautioning about how public expectation on Size runners is enough to make them unprofitable to bet, this is different. Here you can fill your boots. Here are the top 10 trainers with debutants since 2011, and Size leads the way in every way, in races won, in strike rates, and in performance versus the market expectations. Now, it has to be said, this has not been one of John Sizer's vintage seasons with first starters. Only one of his 15 this season managed to win on debut, although collectively the group that he's introduced to racing this season has already won 17 races between them. However, I think Beauty Tycoon, what he has shown us in those trials, even under less pressure, is that he has tactical abilities that are going to stand him in good stead. And I think that's important too for a horse having his first start. When we take a look at the map, I think he'll get his chance from the good barrier, sitting handy to a sound enough pace and ready to turn up the heat when asked in the straight. While a few of his key rivals I mentioned earlier have drawn wide, or they have their own lack of tactical speed that they have to overcome. So the tip in race 6, Beauty Tycoon. His winning factor, the trainer. As I said, not one of John Sizer's vintage seasons for first starters, but as they say, form is temporary, but Sizer's class with these first starters has been seen over a very long time, and I expect that Beauty Tycoon will be able to push things back in the right direction for his statistics this season. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.